Ah! This is episode 2 of So what did we come up with? Filming stuff.
Yeah,
The
okay.
Filming Stuff podcast. It's the best we could do.
Keep going.
Right now we got Madden here. Well, I'm Gerald, your host, producer, Tyrone, and our guest for today, Madden.
Yeah. My name's Madden Runner Rabbit, filmmaker, storyteller, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
Yeah, today we actually did quite a bit. We got here about 10:30. We started filming.
Yeah, around 10:30, we started filming some newscast stuff. Madden's our anchor. Me and Gerald are we're action news reporters. It's pretty awkward today, but that was what I was going for. I wanted to make it awkward, so.
Oh, yeah, that was really awkward. We just went to the Sportsplex, and we were gonna have you like play basketball, but there was already like the gym class from the community college was there.
Yeah.
Told them if we could film them, and they're like, "Go ahead." Then he did the interview. It was really awkward, just the way you were. I was like, "Should we redo this?" And you're like, "Oh, that's how I wanted it to be done." I'm like, oh, "Okay." Okay.
Actually, I kind of like that. I thought Rody was gonna stop, but I kind of liked how you kept playing.
Oh yeah, you just one-handed that, just like
just turning around every once in a while. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh, gee.
Sorry.
Oh, no, yeah, it's okay. I just got to put it in my notes, that's all. 126?
oh, what you saw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even hear it. Just tunes out. Gee,
But yeah, no. What we want to do a ghost segment too, like ghost hunting or something like that too, like some ghost stuff. What kind of stuff do you think you'd film with that?
But technically, yeah, if it was up to me to do something like that, that's how I would go about it because it's fun, you know. Like who doesn't like to see anything new, right?
Yeah.
Instead of being the typical, what was that, or you know, like being in a dark place. You know, I would like to try and find ghosts when it's bright and light and stuff. You know, change up the atmosphere a bit.
Yeah.
You know, do something different. You know, not always the same, because that's how it just gets shrouded in all this obscurity
Yeah.
or stuff like that. I mean, I know people really enjoy it when they watch those compilations and stuff like that, but
Oh
you know, some of them are interesting, but I kind of find it ridiculous sometimes because a lot of it is just
yeah. Mhm.
I don't know if it's intentionally supposed to be funny or what, but it's pretty ridiculous, some of the stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I'm a firm believer. Don't think I'm like, oh, ghosts aren't real. You know, I want to find this stuff and not prove once and for all. Yeah, maybe there's a god or a devil. I don't know,
Yeah.
but pretty much to find something strange, to actually be like, oh, hey, I found that. You know?
Yeah.
trying to find a new Casper, if you will.
Yeah.
You want to know a crazy fact though? This is like crazy. I don't know if they're proving God or if they're showing, but I read a paper on this one thing. It was like a paper from some university, and I could be wrong about this, but just because it's been a while since I read it, but it's like this paper on the God particle. And it's this particle, apparently it has to do with string theory, right? So the idea of string theory is, you know, when you if I were to zoom into my hand, right, there'd be a part of a skin cell, right? You zoom in further, right, you'd see different atoms, right? Atoms and different molecules surrounding it. If you go even deeper, you would find, I believe you would find super small, like almost like microscopic, like so small you'd find even smaller particles. And if you zoom in further, they say you find a frequency, which is sort of like a string theory. And it's a theory, but they're saying that it relates to this God particle that exists outside of our these particles are there, but they're not there. And sometimes these particles apparently they you can find them anywhere, and we're surrounded by it, but we're also not surrounded by it, which is kind of interesting if it's true. And they call it the God particle because it kind of, I guess in a sense, it influences everything, which is kind of interesting. Mathematically, it influences everything or something like that. I can't remember the exact thing. People in the comments may be like, no, he's wrong, but like,
He's wrong.
All a nerd.
God's not in a dust particle. Back in 1977.
God's not in the quantum realm. He's not Cain.
So you're saying Ant-Man can kick God's oh wait, no, I can't say it.
Oh yeah. 27. No, but no, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, imagine too if it was like, what do you call it? Like the Avengers are actually onto something. Quantum realm.
Just say quantum to anything.
Yeah, that's pretty odd, like science, I mean, of course science is very strange, but the theory of like time travel or alternate realities, it's very much a real thing. It's just that the way we portray it in media, kind of like what I was saying about the ghost shows and stuff, it's all dramatized for a specific audience, and that's what gets its views.
Yeah.
But this is something I used to like say to a lot of people when I was in my stoner days. I would always be smoking and being like, holy crap, like thinking too deep into it, kind of like you're saying that the string theory, if you look too deep into it. And I used to always think about like that when you look at cartoons and stuff, they only exist, especially Mario, they exist in a 2D plane where they can only go one way or another. You can't go sideways or they can only go forward and back, and that's literally a 2D plane. Imagine if we were to enter that, like, I don't even know what form we would take because we're 3D, right? And how would they comprehend us? Would it just completely shatter their reality, kind of like Cthulhu when you see him, that his image is so out of this world that you go insane just comprehending. And there are actual things like that.
Yeah.
There are actual things in the universe where if you were to see them, your mind would be so stressed with comprehending the information that it would be impossible to have a sane outlook on it. Kind of like if you were to put like a Nintendo 64 or even the NES, and if you were to put a game like freaking COD, the one that was released within like the last couple of years, that game wouldn't be able to comprehend it, and it would pretty much go haywire, start going insane. Probably it will start a spark and it'll go into flames or something, but it wouldn't be able to comprehend it. It would do its best, but the information wouldn't be there.
Sorry, I keep hitting this.
No worries. But pretty much for that whole topic, that's a whole other story, but I like things like that because how they say that we're just a 3D plane, there's other dimensions. Yeah. There's a 4D, there's a 5D, there's a 6D.
Yeah.
It just goes on and on. We're within a reality within another, and it's not anything like Doctor Strange where it's like you dream of it and there's another you. There probably is another you, but you wouldn't recognize him if you saw him.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane when you think about it, because when you think about it, like all these crazy things, because they've actually got to the end of the universe, they just don't know what's on the other side. Like, well, they've seen pictures, right? But they're wondering what happens if you leave this universe, right? And it's almost like, or like the different dimensions, the different universes. Like, they're saying, like, what if, like, everything could exist, but at the same time, everything doesn't exist, and at the same time, everything also exists, which is absolutely crazy. And when you think about it, we're all just particles that are mashed together, like humans, right? We're all just particles of other particles that are mashed together, and we're just molecules floating in space if you think about it, which is crazy. We're only molecules. So, and when you also think about it, there's nothing. Also, too, there's nothing like we don't know what consciousness is. We don't know what makes us us, right? We know DNA and stuff, but we don't know if you were to think about like a frog, right? If you take that shell of a frog, are you able to take out its personality or something like that? Like, do you know what I mean? If that frog were to, I guess, say die, right? It's no different than other things dying, right? So it's kind of crazy when you think about it that everything right now that it's existing is kind of the same, and it's just different molecules put together in different planes. I don't know, that ties into the other theory of time travel too, right? Because they were saying that time is a human thing, right? Time really doesn't exist. We make time up, right? So technically, what's making us age, right? How can we age, right? How come our bodies can't just produce blood cells and replenish everything forever, right? Because this is a crazy fact, right? Scientists actually found out that the brain can live for 800 years, but the body can't, right? So those are some crazy things. But yeah. I like what you're talking about because it's mind blowing. Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, there's something, that I really like about what you said, that they've seen what's beyond our universe, right?
Yeah.
There's pictures of it, but that's the funny thing. Those pictures are tailored to the information that we can comprehend.
Yeah, right?
So whatever you're seeing, that's not the real image.
That's only what we can comprehend.
Yeah, and I kind of find this funny because the color magenta, only I think other animals can see it, but if you were to put it in front of an animal or something like that, they wouldn't be able to see it. It would be invisible because the way their eye receptors, the way they see colors, they can't comprehend that color. That's why that color magenta is a very alien color, because we're one of the only species that have the actual, not DNA, but evolutionary process to actually comprehend that color.
Yeah.
So that makes me think if there are other animals that see colors that we don't even know about, or if there's colors that out there that we can't even comprehend or see,
Yeah.
Like just imagine, there's a skit, I can't remember, White as Kids,
Yeah.
they made a skit where they're like, ladies and gentlemen, it's like a whole presidential thing. They're like, we discovered a new color. And then their questions are like, how does it look? How the hell do you describe another color, without describing colors you already know, like just thoughts like that. That's already making you insane,
Yeah. Even like infrared or like other radio waves, right? Like there are also radiation, right? It's the only way we can see, right? Radiation. So we can't really see radiation. They're saying if we could actually see Earth for what it really is, we totally see it different, right? Because I can't remember if we were to see Earth in its true colors. Yeah. It wouldn't even look like this, and it's kind of crazy. It's the way we comprehend it, but yeah.
Just blowing you away, Gerald.
Wow. Just zoning out.
Just have an existential crisis. Just trying to look at your atoms.
It's really.
But totally, one of these days we should dedicate a whole podcast to something like that,
Yeah.
At your hand. Huh?
Yeah. Just get a
What's in my
microscope.
palm?
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
The whole hour just looking at your hand. Why?
Oh yeah, like stuff like this. I always talk to people about, and they're like blown away because they're like, holy crap, like they're like, you're so smart, but it's like, no, it's not really. It's just that I watch. It's just that I watch like a bunch of movies that have these same ideas, but simplified in order for you. Kind of like that picture I was talking about. You know, it's simplified in order for you to comprehend it, right?
Yeah.
But if you're actually to like go deeper and look into it, fuck it. Sorry, but it's really altering. You know, it could be a bad way to alter your mind.
Yeah.
Because you could, like I said, it was a joke, but for some people it could be very existential because
it's kind of hard to comprehend.
Because there's a lot of people that believe in the afterlife, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like they want to hold on to an idea that you could preserve who you are, kind of like how you're talking about that frog, right?
Yeah.
Or is it that you know there's just only the universe?
Yeah.
When you die, you just become those particles that made you in the first place.
Yeah.
What about you guys? What's your thoughts when you die? Like, let's say a doctor says you got cancer, you're not gonna live more than 2 months. What would you guys do?
I don't know.
See, I'd go get a nice bottle of Jack and a couple of flapjacks. No, I was kidding. I don't know. Actually, I would just just chill out.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. What can I do? It's not like I'm rich.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I could just travel the world. I mean, I can if I wanted to, right? If I was persistent enough, but you know, sometimes it's just you got to be simple, right? Just.
Do you ever hear of that?
What about you? What would you do if you're gonna die, or you got cancer and you weren't gonna make it in 2 months?
So I don't know.
Oh, you had to think about it. What would you do?
Rob a bank. Something like that. No, but you just reminded me of something though. Like the crazy thing is that there's a theory, right, that humans, this isn't our home planet, right? Because there's sicknesses on the planet, right? And technically, other animals, right? They don't get sick. Well, they get sick now because of humans, chemicals everywhere. But like other animals, right? They don't get sick naturally because it's the right amount of gravity, right amount of different stuff. But if we had a different gravitational pull on this planet, we'd have no back problems, no stress problems. Technically, we're not supposed to stress. We're not supposed to do any of that. And people and sicknesses too would be affected by like if we were on a different planet, right? So there's a big belief that we don't have any planets. I mean, that we don't have, that we're not on our home planet.
The Earth is flat.
The Earth is flat. There's also a theory too that the Earth is flat, and then if you actually leave, right, that you could go to the different planes. Like dinosaurs are still living, and if you go over like that one, like to Antarctica, you could find like all that land that dinosaurs are still living, and there's like different kingdoms and stuff. Like
I heard about that, but it just sounds stupid to be honest.
Yeah, it sounds really.
It's like, oh, all the other planets in the universe, in the galaxy, they're all around except ours. Ours is like a disc.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That just seems kind of weird to me that people believe that.
Yeah, it's wild to think about, but yeah.
I think one that's really interesting. I mean, it's out there in terms of flat Earth, but I think it could be plausible. I mean, I like to dive into a lot of weird stuff, but the one I really like is the hollow Earth.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. I
mean, I don't believe that there's dinosaurs in the hollow Earth, but I do believe that potentially underneath us there's a whole system, of life.
Yeah.
Maybe not a Zootopian forest of all the imaginable creatures you could think of, but
a giant cave.
Yeah. King Kong's down there with Godzilla, and they have a whole kingdom going on. But
Okay.
but but I do believe that our Earth is pretty unique in the fact that, we're pretty much 1 in a million,
Yeah.
and beyond that, beyond us, there's more 1 in a millions.
There's actually probably like, if you think about it, just what do they say? I think it's like, I think it was just like a pixel. They took a picture of the sky, and it was just a pixel, and the amount of stars and planets that they found were, it's just an estimation, but just a pixel in the sky or something. I think it was like almost like hundreds of millions of planets and galaxies, or millions, like thousands of millions of galaxies, and inside those galaxies are millions and billions of planets, and which is insane. So our 1 in a million planet is part of like a gazillion trillion different 1 in a millions. You know what I mean? Which is kind of crazy to think about, that the universe is that big. Yeah. What's that one guy's name? He has a mustache and he always gives like crazy facts. And he was on Theo Vaughn's podcast. You know Theo Vaughn?
I know of Theo Von, but I haven't like watched it too much.
Yeah, because he was on there and he said every human that, what was it? Every human that could exist will never exist. So the fact that we're alive right now is like against stupendous odds, almost like, because there's enough DNA combinations for there to be like trillions of humans to be able to be born, but only about 1 billion of them can live, right? And so us being alive is literally like winning the lottery 8 times over. So I was like, oh dang. I was like,
we're just a couple thousand more years until the whole world is considered cousins and that.
Everybody, we're all cousins.
Yeah. And depression, we were all family now. So.
Holy smokes.
No, I don't really kind of start talking about all these particles and everything. I kind of, to be honest, I kind of zoned out for a little bit. Yeah. True. But yeah. But project-wise, I don't guess we should do a little recap of what we're going to be doing pretty quick, going up with our videos and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, because we just finished, like we said before, we did the newscast today. We're doing the podcast right now. I think by the time people watch this and see this, it'll literally be distro.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about.
So we better get on those t-shirts.
Yeah. We should actually, it would be cool to sell some t-shirts as well for here. And we could possibly, if we, make t-shirts, make some extra.
I think we have to push back quite a bit of stuff that we're going to be doing, especially this week. Because originally we were going to start filming this whole week. Or at least tomorrow too. But
we have to push things back.
Yeah, I got to push stuff back. Because originally I got a commercial that, what is it, WestJet or something. I got a commercial and I thought it was going to be the 17th, but I got to go up tomorrow for a walkthrough of the site and what we're going to be filming at. And then I got to start filming Monday. So I'm just going to stay in Calgary for the whole week.
Yeah.
And when I come back, then we'll start filming some more stuff. But I was thinking tomorrow, if you guys could still film some stuff.
Yeah, if I pick you up or
it's
something.
up to you guys.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Maybe you guys could do a skit